Hello, everyone. I am super, super, super honored. I'm super excited that you are currently watching this video and on this page. It's such an honor for me to share this information, share our vision, share where we're going, and share the change that we really want to see in the world. If you are scrolling through and you have that fire in your belly and you're kind of wondering, should I do this? Should I not do this? I really wanted to share some stories of some of our alumni who've gone through the program and who are currently working in the field and changing their lives through this work, and not only changing their lives, but changing the lives of so many women around the world. So I wanted to bring on Cheryl to share her journey. So thank you for being here, my love.
You're welcome. Welcome. I'm so super excited to share everything. My life's totally changed in the last 18 months.
It's so interesting. I can remember when you and I first connected. I knew it from the second I met you. I'm like, she's going to be amazing. And you had this fire in your belly. So I would love for you just to go back to that moment. Like, what was that? What did that profound knowing feel like in your body of, I need to do this work in the world? And what was the leap of faith that you needed to take in order to actually do this?
I think initially I heard you on a podcast, and it just struck me. There was just so much resonation about that. It's not about the food. It's not about the food. And I became a fitness instructor thinking that would fix it. And fitness didn't fix it because it had nothing to do with anything external. And it doesn't have to do anything with food. It had to do with my feelings and my emotions and how I was not feeling living through this life. And so when I saw you live, and when I saw you live, that was just a no-brainer. And at that point, it was just, I needed more and I wanted more. And I think for me, it's like, I know you ask all your podcasters, how do you feel alive? And I feel alive by choosing to be alive. And
no one's ever given me that answer before. I love that.
But I had to think about that because I used to say, oh, it's a run. A run makes me feel alive. Yeah, a run makes my heart pound and my body sweat. But when I think about the true moments of actually being here on this sweet earth only once, that's what it's about. It's about choosing to be alive. And so I lived in this world of being on autopilot with 3 boys and a business and wanting to have it all. And I kind of did on paper, and yet something was missing. And it gives me goosies to think that I lived that way until I chose to feel, and I chose to slow down. And I always say with everybody that knows me, I was a doer, and now I'm a beer, and I get to do what I love, and not only have I changed my world and my life and my marriage and being a mom of 3 boys and all of the relationships in my world, but there was that fire to do something and want something and make a difference, not just for me, but for other women. And so I jumped in.
Your life has completely changed over the last year. So you did the program with us for 10 months. You've been graduated for now 3 months at the time of recording this. And explain the difference. Explain the difference between your life 10 months ago, where you really didn't have direction, didn't know what you were doing, were struggling in what you wanted to do, versus now. What's the feeling? What does it look like?
So I think the feeling, like I didn't know, I think I was afraid, I was afraid of failure.
Yeah.
And now that I know so much about myself, I was also afraid of success, because what would that look like? And I knew that I wanted that. And yet really and truly, it's not, it wasn't necessarily about the financial component of that. That's like gravy, pardon me, right? But it's like, it's about changing lives, and it's about that mission. And I think that was really exciting. And I didn't, being a personal trainer and being a fitness instructor and having women around me, that was really powerful. And that's, I was happy with that. I was okay with that. And yet I felt just okay with that part of my business life. And even, in our family situation, we just moved to a whole entire new city that I don't know if I would have actually been as open and brave and courageous and curious about what that would bring for me and our family and our situation if I hadn't have done this work, because it gave me that trust in myself to know that actually, and trust my intuition that I don't love the way things are right now and I want something different. And so let's be open and let's figure out what that looks like and what feels good, And again, I go back to slowing down and being present and getting out of that autopilot, Zoom, doing, consuming, and getting more into that being. And that's the biggest difference for me.
I love it. You had to take so much like blind faith, and, you know, the blind faith with the investment, you know, you didn't know where that money was going to come. The blind faith in just like your ability to coach, the blind faith in just like jumping in. Where does that come from? Where did you cultivate that from? Because it was scary, and, you know, maybe you didn't have the resources or didn't have the confidence or didn't have this. Like, what is that quality in you that just allows you to just go, screw it. I'm doing this. I'm committing my life to this. I'm going to make this work, because I genuinely believe that anyone watching this video right now, there's a reason why you're watching it. It's because you want something different, because you want to pursue something different. And oftentimes the only thing missing truly is that piece of like, it's inevitable. I'm going to make this work. I don't care. And I know personally in my life, like the times that I've just released everything and like, I'm doing this and I'm going to fully trust that I will be supported. Those are the times that lead me to the greatest things in my life. Like, for instance, you know, even my love events, you've been to my love events, but you know, like, you know, paying for a 300 person venue and just going like, I don't know how these people are going to get here. I don't know where they're going to come from, but I just trust. And then things come together. The universe conspires to support us. And so I truly believe like everyone has potential, but what makes successful people different than people who stay stuck in what they don't want to do is this feeling of like, it's inevitable. It's just going to work out. So what is that for you, and how do you exercise on a daily basis to really push boundaries?
Yeah. So I think, you know, from the investment perspective, it was an investment for our family and for, you know, with 3 little boys. And, and so
did they have to pay for it? They're like, hey, give me your allowance. Mama's got to do some stuff.
No, but they often, Mom, are you on a call? Are you on a coaching call?
Oh, totally.
Right.
Money aside, it's a time investment.
Right. And so it's like, you know, they knew that the gift of time is like, but I also got to pick them up and I get to drop them off at school, which was my gift. That was my gift. And so the freedom and the flexibility that this certification has allowed me and given me to be, now that I've slowed down, I'm present, and I can be all of those things to all of the people that really matter to me. That's what I wanted. And so you know, when I think about the investment and I thought about those things that were like, oh, but no, right? Those things that were pulling me back from doing that application, it was, but what do I really want? What is going to light me up? What gets me excited? And when I spoke about it and I knew my own struggle with food and body, I just thought, surely I'm not alone. And I know that if I can touch 1, 5, 10, 50 lives, we are only here once. Why can't that be me? Why can't that be me? It can be, actually. And so, you know, I mean, I emotionally resourced without even knowing. It's like, if I've done this before, what can I do? Can I choose to put half of this over here into this egg? And then can I choose here? And then can I put this here? And what can I choose? This is for me. This is for me and my future. This is for me and my personal growth. And this is for me and my children. And the investment, monetary aside, was an investment in my marriage without knowing. It was an investment in my children without knowing.
That gave me like goosebumps all over,
right?
Just thinking about that.
And I think so often, you know, I used to teach baby boot camp, not in my new city, but I think about, you know, when I am connected with moms, and, you know, so much of the connection is about how hard it is. And it is hard, and we're tired, and we get to choose how we live through this life. And so that's the piece for me that I really knew that it was like, that's the investment. That's what I want to learn about. That's where I want to grow. And that's where I want to, that's my niche. I mean, you know, when I think about the fire effect of the certification program, and when we spend 2 months talking about branding and your avatar and who do you want to work with and why, and how do you draw them in, and how do you connect with them, build relationships with them, that was so powerful for me. And so I
Mm,
knew that moms were where I really wanted to focus.
for sure.
And knowing that a 22-year-old woman who struggles with food and body and a 58-year-old woman that struggles with food and body also can hear everything that we have to say as well, right? Because when you struggle with food and body, you struggle with food and body. And if you don't, you don't, and it doesn't make any sense.
Right, right. Yeah. I think there's so many health coaches watching this, nutritionists, personal trainers, like I
Mhm.
was a personal trainer, you a personal trainer, with they just feel like, all right, I have this desire to help people. I have this skill set, but actually putting it all together and delivering it to attract clients is the piece that they feel defeated. And what I want to help avoid at all costs is people who have big hearts, who want to make an amazing impact, but give up on themselves too soon because they don't have the roadmap. And
Mhm.
that's why so our mission to help 1 million people by 2020, like the reason why that's so potent and why we do that business building aspect of it is because I can give you all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't know how to attract clients and actually like put it into practice, it's not gonna help the mission of what we're actually here to do. And so I just think that you're such an incredible example of that, because you started attracting clients straight away, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang girl.
But
Amazing.
I also think, I mean, so much of what you taught us is that, you teach us the knowledge and we choose or don't choose to use that
Yes.
into the wisdom
Yes.
in our body. And I feel like I've grown leaps and bounds. And as my husband says, you changed your life and things are so different. And it's because I've embodied this work and I can't even put it aside. I like, my language is different. Who I am is different. I talked to my neighbor the other day about potty training, and it's like everything that I said, she goes, oh my gosh, I feel so much lighter. And I'm like, I was just having a conversation over the fence. But it's like, it's me, like it's in me, and I've embodied the work. And so I think, just as we were talking before we started recording, is that I think that the most amazing thing is every coaching call that I get off, every group of women that I get off of a coaching call with, a group call, it's like you grow just a little bit more. You have a little bit more insight into your own personal growth, and then you get to push the edges. And I don't even know where I'm going to be in 5 and 10 years from now. But wow, I can't.
I do. You're going to be flying, attracting clients all over the world, doing exactly what you want and creating your life. Like, here's what excites me so much is like who women get to be when they're in their purpose.
Mhm.
Like who you've become because you got to step into your purpose and do this work in the world is incredible. And I didn't know you in previously, but I coached you through the personal work. And so I had a snapshot of it, but it's like to be able to create life on our own terms, pick our kids up from school when we want to, spend time with them, be home with our husband, like allow ourselves to create what we want, like, and helping women and men or whoever we want to help, moms around the world, like that just lights us on fire. And I think there's too many people with amazing hearts with incredible intentions who are lost and don't know how to help.
Mhm.
And so that's why this program is so potent, because it says, here's the roadmap. This is what we're doing. Let's all do this together. And I think what means so much to me, just on a personal level, is community and connection. And I feel that with you guys, like whether we have 20 people in the program, 40 or 100, there is that connection because we all have the same vision. We are all so aligned. We are all heart-centered and want change in the world. And women coming together to say, hey, this is what we stand for and this is the direction we're going into all together is like, it's powerful. It's so powerful.
Yeah, going to San Diego at the end for graduation with, a few of us had happened to meet each other.
Yeah.
But it felt like we were in the sisterhood, and it was such an incredible experience. Ending that part of the journey, and then, and still staying connected now, and knowing and supporting each other in our own business development is just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So what advice would you give to somebody who is watching us right now talk about this, and they're sitting there thinking like, wow, that's amazing, but can I do that? Or maybe there's like imposter syndrome going on, or whatever is going on. What is the advice that you can give someone?
Be true and accept the fact that I am not perfect. Take off the mask. There are moments that I choose to eat what I put in my body, and that I'm not perfect and you're not perfect and everybody is not perfect. And we are only what the gift that you gave us, and you will, I'm hoping that you continue to give every woman that crosses your path, is that you're only farther ahead because you started before. And that, I think that's the piece, right? So we all have a gift to share. We all bring something so incredibly different to the table, and we all have our strengths and we all have areas of growth. And I think that if watching this video lights you up, if listening to one of your podcasts goes, gosh, I wish that sounds like, oh, that's me, because I've struggled and I want to share and I want to make a difference, then do it and apply and put yourself in that, what do you want to do with your one and only life? Like, this is it.
Totally,
this is it. And don't sell yourself short, and don't live with regrets. Like, I didn't know where this was going to lead me, but I sure as hockey sticks didn't think it was going to be here.
I sure as hockey sticks. I love your little sayings. You got me saying goosies, like when you get something. Like, I do.
I did steal that from Jennifer Lopez, because I love Jennifer Lopez. But I do, right? I have my son, and my middle son is a hockey player, so hockey. You gotta be a hockey sticks. But I didn't know where it was going to lead me, and here I am. And what's important are my 3 boys and my husband, and making a difference. And the fact that I actually get to earn a living doing this is amazing, right? The fact that I get to have my office in my home and zip upstairs and go garden with my new herbal garden that I have in my new house. Like,
awesome.
Right?
I didn't know that. I didn't know you did that.
I didn't. But when I think about how this has changed my life, right? This is about, I never thought that I could. I wasn't a gardener. That was my story. I kill plants. That's my story. Well, actually, no. What if I didn't? What if I didn't kill plants? What if I have this beautiful spot to have a herb garden in my kitchen so that I can nourish my body and use mint and cucumber water? And what if I chose to have spiralized zucchini with fresh basil and a rosemary chicken tomorrow? Why not? Why does that have to be everybody else, but not me?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my gosh, right? That makes me so happy. That makes me happy.
And that's an herb garden. That's an herb garden.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That makes me feel special. So why I am choosing to make myself feel special in my own world. And that is where that internal growth that I didn't even know. So when it totally goes back to, even like how do I feel alive? I feel alive because I'm actually choosing to be alive. I didn't even know that that was even something that I wasn't necessarily feeling and making myself feel special. I didn't know that I could or would or should.
Right.
And now, right? And that has nothing to do with the fact that now I get to work with women, but because I am doing that, then I actually get to share that with women and be able to connect with them.
Oh, that just like makes me so happy. I love that whole piece of like, are we actually living? It's such a great question to ask ourselves, are we actually living? Like, we have one life, like that's it. As far as we know, unless we come back as like a dog or whatever, but we have one life right now. And it is so sad, the amount of people who are spending their days doing stuff that they hate, sacrificing their soul, not listening to their soul, creating stories like, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough to do this, or I don't have the money to do this. Yeah. Like, yes, we really, really, really do. And so you are just an example. You amongst many are just such an example of like how you've been able to just like cut the shit and change the story and recreate a new narrative that is in alignment with the highest version of you. And it's just it makes me so happy. I feel so honored that we crossed paths however we did. The internet's crazy, but I feel so grateful that you're in the world and in the tribe and doing this with us. It's so amazing.
I can't even imagine where I would be, to be honest. I don't even know where I would be if I didn't end up choosing to do the work and commit and show up. Not just to the webinars and, showing up for the fire book and all of the components of what makes this an amazing certification program. I did, and I showed up in the webinars and I did all of that, but also really embodying it. And I think that's the piece that really is so important to stress, is that it's really about changing your life. And, you know, like, yeah, life isn't a dress rehearsal. This is it.
Totally.
So,
Totally.
yeah.
I love it so much. Well, to everybody watching or listening, however you're consuming this, thank you. It's just beautiful to highlight people, because I mean, I can say it all day long. Hey, listen, you have the potential, you can do this, but it's amazing to like highlight women who have actually done it. And I think so often we see each other in people's stories. So I know there's hundreds of women who are watching this going like, wow, that was me and I want to do what she's doing. And so like you are like impacting women just by you being here on this podcast, sharing your truth and sharing everything. So thank you so much for being here. And Cheryl's a big part of the Hungry for Happiness community. And so if you are considering this program, you will absolutely have contact with her, and you will absolutely, there's like some like gardener behind me. So just like ignore that. That's just real life happening behind me right now. Actually, Britt, maybe just edit this part out. Can you hear that on your end?
A little bit.
Okay. I think he's good now. So if you do choose to apply and that is in alignment with you, you will have contact with Cheryl. She's a huge part of the Hungry for Happiness community. So thank you, my love, for being here. Thank you for listening and watching. And I'm so excited to potentially have the opportunity of working with you as well. Bye for now.
Bye.